MohawkValleyLiving.com.
Let's see.
It's time for the Cooper Group's road trip to Mohawk. We're traveling in a 2007 Saturn Vue, courtesy of Saturn of the Mohawk Valley, on Commercial Drive in Yorkville. The snow is finally here to stay as we finish our tour of Finn Country in the village of Mohawk. Originally settled by Palatine Germans in the early 1700s, most of the early settlements were scattered by the American Revolution. After the war, the Palatines rebuilt their homes and settlements, and their legacy survives in the town names, historic sites, and the descendants of the first Palatine settlers.
When you come to Mohawk, don't speed through, because about a half a block from the Mohawk Station is a house that was built in 1841, and it is an unusual house because it was the first one in all of North America to have a concrete sewer system. More interesting than that, though, is the fact that the builder of this house was a very progressive individual. It was F. Spinner, and he was appointed United States Treasurer by President Abraham Lincoln, and he was the first man to appoint a woman to a government job when he was treasurer. Her name was Ginny Douglas.
To see what we can see, traveling round the Mohawk Valley.
Behind me is the historic Armory here in Mohawk. It was here that training took place for World War I. Now it's the YMCA, and I think I'll go in there in a couple of minutes and try my hand at basketball.
Well, I talk to you, but you don't listen. I reach out to you, but you don't care.
Traveling through the various villages as we have, we've always found a library as the centerpiece of the village. That's true here in Mohawk as well. This one is called the Weller Library because it was donated by the Weller family. And when you come here, take the time to check everything out from ceiling to floor, because you'll find some artwork on the ceilings that are really quite impressive. And then in what I imagine was the dining room perhaps, there's a parquet floor like none I've seen anywhere in our travels thus far.
The Weller Library will soon have a museum-like reference area upstairs. Plans are to have it open within the year. The library has a beautiful park and gazebo behind it, perfect for a winter stroll or summer picnic.
So they say in my school to be kind and assert and pretend. Just trying to find my way back.
If you are an early riser, come on through Mohawk as early as 5 o'clock in the morning and stop in here at the Mohawk Diner. It used to be called the Mohawk Dairy Store. Supposedly it's been here forever. We can't find out how long because people just say it's been here forever. When you come in, be sure to ask for Wendy to serve you some of their homemade carrot cake, and all the other desserts are homemade as well. And if you like the eggs and stuff, order slop because they serve slop here too.
Just trying to find my way back home.
Today, if you were to drive down Route 28, or I guess drive up depending which way you're coming, you'll find another little piece of Americana here in Mohawk. And I didn't know these were made here. They're made right here in the Mohawk Valley. And I know that you've used them, or your mother or your grandmother. They're these little quick cut items. And I can remember my mother using these in particular, I think mostly to chop walnuts and also to do carrots for soup. So you come here, you're going to see these things made from beginning to end, from soup to nuts.
Well, the company started in Ilion sometime in the 40s in a man's garage, and he outgrew that and moved it here to Mohawk. And this is originally, this was two Quonset huts that were actually built for a dog kennel. and the company moved here in 1955. My father was a friend of Mr. Carter's, and he purchased the business in 1968, and my father also worked in Remington Arms, and he retired around that time and came and did this business, and I came to work for him when I got out of college, and I purchased it in 1989. I just love manufacturing. I love to be in Herkimer County. I love to be in business, and I always find great people to work for me, and that lots of times they don't miss me if I'm not here, so it's just been a great time for me.
Brenda tried her best to teach me how to rivet. It didn't work out too well. As a matter of fact, if they kept me here, quick cut would quickly become slow cut. The owner, Mary, has made an offer you can't refuse. If you come down here during the month of February, if you buy one of these, you can get a second one for free, so you can buy one for your mother and your mother-in-law. Mary will also give you a tour of the museum that's inside this manufacturing plant. Here we are at the museum, and if you look here, that's right outside of, actually it's part of Mary's office, right? Mm-hmm. This is your office? Okay. As you go in the door to the left by her office is the museum. These are the oldest to the newest. This one here is some 80 years old.
Just trying to find my way back home.
As you leave Mohawk headed west, you'll see the Mohawk Station. The station is located where the West Shore coal yards used to be. They serviced back in the 1800s the West Shore Railroad, which got its name because it went along the west side of the Hudson River. The restaurant is filled with memorabilia, and if you're a railroad buff, you are going to want to make sure to stop off here as you travel through the Mohawk Valley.
This past summer, the Mohawk Valley got a little taste of Texas when Mohawk Station added Texas barbecue, now selling and serving dinosaur barbecue sauces.
We just love the Mohawk Station. We have the property across the street, the factory outlet store. And we just hated to see this building empty. It's just such a beautiful interior. It's just very charming. And when we stopped for a visit to Dinosaur Barbecue, we just both looked at each other and said, Dinosaur Barbecue here.
This week, enjoy some Texas barbecue at Mohawk Station. Mohawk Valley Living viewers will be treated to a free dessert or non-alcoholic beverage.
After you've had a meal at the Mohawk Station, you can walk right across the street and go into the factory outlet store here. The building was constructed in the 1800s and was known as Paragon Mills, and it was a cotton mill manufacturer, also manufactured women's silk dresses. Today it houses Duofold Factory Outlet. Duofold is America's oldest continuing manufacturer of underwear. They sell long johns in there, and I'll tell you that I wish I had on some this morning. So, what do you think? I kind of think that the red goes very well with the blue.